to understand, we are world class athletes. You got to understand when you walk into that ring, it is life or death. The smallest mistake can. We already know how many wrestlers have died in a ring. How many wrestlers have been injured in a ring where they can no longer work an actual job or wrestle anymore. So we aren't people that are just jump in the ring and do it and you can succeed. Like if you are not the top of the top, the best of the best, if you're not top tier, you cannot. No one would want to wrestle you to begin with
Mm.
because they don't. No one wants to put their life at risk. And secondly, why would I wrestle you and have a shitty match if you're gonna make my match shitty? Like I know I understand gaining experience and all that crap, but at the same time, like someone that's detrimental to you, I don't think that's the way someone wants to go.
No, and a shitty match, with everything being recorded and filmed these days is out there, right? So you don't want to have certain pieces of content of you wrestling out there that aren't to a certain standard.
100%. But at the same time, if you go back and you see any wrestler, international or even nationally, some of the best wrestlers, they've always had a crappy match. Sometimes it's out of your hands. You do what you got to do. You stick to it, and you put on a show for the fans, for the paying customers. It is what it is. Doesn't mean you got to be happy about it, but it is what it is, and that's what happens sometimes. But going back to your question about the tryouts, a lot of times that does happen where people come and they're like, yeah, 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 this, tryout easy. They come, they throw up, they blow up, they can't handle it, they get gassed, they leave. Sometimes people pass the tryout, they get in to the academy, and then while they're training, they're like, yeah, nah, I don't want to bump, and then they just leave. A lot of people don't stick with it, you
Yeah.
know, and that's the thing. This business isn't for everybody, very, very. I know there's a lot of wrestling going on in the world right now, but there's also a lot of wrestlers, so you got to be really good to stick out, you know,
Well,
and it's not for everybody.
that's the whole saying. What is it now that where people are saying wrestling's for everybody, right?
Mm.
You don't believe that statement's true?
No,
Mm.
no, you're either gonna come and raise the level of the wrestling standard, or just
Mm.
leave. Just leave. Wrestling is not for everybody. No, I think that's incorrect. I think wrestling is for the best. I think wrestling is for the people that want it, for the people
Mm.
that put in the effort. Don't come
Yeah.
train once every 6 months and then tell me you want to wrestle.
Mm.
Where are you when I'm there putting in the hours? Where are you
I,
when I'm there doing the training? Where are you when I'm running the ropes, taking the bumps, doing the burpees, going to the gym? Where are you? You want to come every 6 months and be like, I want to wrestle? No. Well,
I've
you're
always
just going to bring the product down.
I've always said wrestling is for everybody, but it's for everybody who's prepared to put in the work, and that depends if you're a wrestler, you're a referee, producer, manager, whatever it may be. If you are there and you are being and you are part of it, you're lucky to be part of this business. Put the fucking work in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look good. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you are there to do it to the best of your ability.
100%. 100%. You probably did phrase it in a better way of saying it's for everybody that's willing to put in the work. But then you have people that put in the work for a bit, let's say year, 2, 3, whatever, and then they think they're owed something. Like,
Mm.
why do you think you're owed something? Oh, I don't want to train. I've been here for a while. No, look at the best. Do you think the best stop training? All right, let me tell you something. Forget about wrestling. Let me talk to you about other sports.
All right.
Let's talk about someone like LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing for 18 or 19 years now. He is still the GOAT. Why? He
Hands
still
down.
trains multiple times a week. And he is still playing at the age of 38 or 39 now, like he was playing when he was 20, and probably even better. Let's go
Mm.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. They train multiple times a week. Why? Because they're the best. To stay the best, you've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the hours. You've got to train. Like,
To stay
you
sharp,
can't.
you got to keep that knife, sharpened.
Exactly. And aside from that, like, how are you going to get better? Like, with wrestling, especially in this day and age, it is always evolving. It is always changing. It was always switching and turning. You've got to evolve and adapt to the times. You were constantly learning. No one could ever be like, I've memorized all of wrestling. I know everything. Nobody does.
Mm.
Like the best of the best, you know, they know what their character is. They know what they do as their character, or who they are and how to portray that to the fans. And then the fans, the wrestlers are so good that the fans know what the wrestlers are doing. The fans are like, okay, I understand what he's trying to portray to me.
Yeah.
And that's where the best succeed, because they can do it effortlessly.
But
They can
even
do it
the
seamlessly.
but even the best, they still need to train because they
Of
need to, like,
course.
you know what I mean? Like even the best wrestlers in the world, they still need to have their shit looking crisp and
Of course.
yeah,
Like,
all that was
like I'm trying to think about, like, let's say some of the best wrestlers in the world now, like they 100% train. They probably go in there every now and again because, come on, the best wrestlers in the world are resting multiple times a week anyways. So the way
easily.
I see it,
Yeah.
if you're resting multiple times a week, that is your training. If you're resting non-stop, but when a wrestler gets injured, for example, that's used to wrestling multiple times a week, once they get injured, they have to go back and do a bit of training before they go in, because the ring rust is a real thing, and you got to get that muscle memory back. You know what I mean? You got to get that time in,
Mm.
to get better. And that's the thing. Like when you're resting 3 times a week, 4 times a week, it's different to when you're having one match a week. So if you're having one match a week, you need to go in and wrestle, and train, or even any sport. Let's say you,
Football,
excuse me, like, yeah, football, NRL, AFL, whichever. If you're having a match once a week, you need to go during the week and train. But if you're a wrestler and you're wrestling 3, 4 times on the indies, or 3, 4 times in general, that is your training. And then wrestling is very, very taxing on the body. Like
100%.
while wrestling 3, 4 times, you sometimes injuries happen at training more often than the actual shows, because it's
Same
the
with
little things.
same with combat sports. Yeah, same thing with boxing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This is easy. Let's say like a leapfrog. You go and you do a leapfrog at training. You think it's easy. Bang! You land. You twist your ankle. Now you're fucked. You know what I mean? That's where wear and tear comes in.
100%, and that's when overdoing it comes in, overtraining comes in, because that's probably the thing as well that you got to like monitor the most.
Mhm.
Being a wrestler is the wrestling training that you got to do, which I'm assuming is a couple of times a week, right?
Mhm.
And then put in like regular gym training, whether it's strength and conditioning, HIIT training, whatever it is that you do to keep yourself fit. On top of that, like your body's in exercise mode, what, 5-6 days a week?
Exactly. And that's the thing. You got your exercise, like as you said, you're exercising consistently, and aside from exercising consistently, you're also like working consistently, like as in working within the ring, whether you're working on shows, and you're in constant state of like, I got to keep going, I got to keep going. That's why recovery is such a big thing, right? Like sometimes, sometimes to fit in your gym workouts, you have to do it before a show, like just the way it is. Even if it's a quick workout, you just got to fit it in before the show. And that's just the nature of the business. Like you've got to be able to keep up with the schedule.